Mrs. Rajavi, members of the National Council of Resistance of Iran, all guests and dignitaries, and especially my fellow soldiers for democracy, who we serve so closely together at Camp Ashraf. Thank you for allowing me to join you today. All events with the NCRI and the MEK bring together people throughout the world to show support for an Iran that one day will achieve the 4 freedoms stated by President Franklin Roosevelt: the freedoms of speech, of worship, from want, and from fear. The failed 2018 attack was as much against those freedoms as it was against the participants at the rally outside Paris. This attempted attack once again emphasized Iran's ruling extremist fear of the NCRI and its affiliate organization, the Mujahedin-e Khalq. In turn, the number of international dignitaries attending this event confirms the global respect held by both organizations. For decades, the Iranian government has avoided judicial accountability as the #1 state sponsor of international terrorism. This has ended today. Iran's supreme leader, Khamenei, and President Rouhani were desperate. Citizens within Iran commenced in December 2017 the riots, and are still ongoing inside the country. Still, Khamenei's 2 biggest threats to power continue to be the Paris-based NCRI and the MEK in Albania. Whenever the Ayatollah's power is threatened by internal overthrow, the regime resorts to 2 measures. The first is brutal oppression of the Iranian citizens inside the country, including imprisonment and mass execution. The second is committing a terrorist attack against Iran's perceived enemies. Attacking the rally in Paris was a bold plan. What Khamenei, Rouhani, and Assadi failed to take into account was European law enforcement efficiency. The detection of the explosive device by Belgian police immediately activated the criminal justice agencies throughout the continent. German police apprehended Assadi during his automobile flight as he was approaching the Austrian border. We should give special recognition to the law enforcement agencies, the front line against terrorism in Europe. Now the day of justice has come for Assadi and his 3 accomplices. The verdicts are terrorism and attempted murder. Also indirectly on trial was Khamenei and Rouhani for ordering the failed mass slaughter. This verdict is a blow to their influence inside and outside Iran. Unfortunately, their day of justice will have to be delayed until the eventual but certain collapse of the Iranian government. The question becomes why national governments around the world currently in power still have so much reluctance to stop coddling the government of Iran and recognize the way to move forward is to work with the opposition. Neither the NCRI, the MEK, are about power in Iran. They're about democracy in Iran. Both have become cultural, political, and ideological threats to Islamic fundamentalists. The founding philosophies were both organizations: equality between those in power and those not, between men and women, and among the various religions and races. Clergy should not have total control over interpretation of the Quran, and clerics should not have total control over their congregations. These philosophies are in direct contradiction to the teachings of the Iranian fundamentalists. Shamefully, Western detractors who still strive for Iranian appeasement claim these philosophies reflect the teachings of Marx and Lenin. The reality is those philosophies accurately reflect John Locke, Thomas Jefferson, and James Madison. The people of Iran want change. Rather than to continue attempt appeasement with a dysfunctional governments, leaders of the international community will better serve their nations and global peace by working with the 2 organizations determined to bring democracy and stability to Iran and the Middle East. Those 2 organizations are the NCRI and the MEK. To my brothers and sisters at Ashraf 3, when you're ready to go to Iran, I'm ready to go with you. We were together at Ashraf. Let's go together into Tehran. Thank you.